here in Enlisted, we have so many different tabs you can open, and you can get lost very, very easily. And you don't even need to be like a new player. You see, I'm just clicking everywhere and there's just new tab after new tab. I can't imagine what a new player thinks when, like, look, I can just keep going forever and there are new tabs. When a new player joins the game, I am sure not blaming anyone for getting lost. Today we're going to be trying explaining one of these tabs, and it is the upgrade tab. And in Enlisted we have a plethora of different upgrades. Some of them dictates if you can add a different class soldier to your squad. Some of them dictates what level soldier your soldier can go up to. Some of these upgrades are responsible for weapon upgrades and how expensive it's going to be. Some of them are responsible for tank levels and again how expensive they're going to be. And you guessed it, some of them are responsible for aircraft upgrades, and again, if you do some of the discounts, you can do it slightly cheaper. Today we're going to go through all of the squads that you can unlock through your Tech 3. We're going to go through their upgrades. I'm going to explain you what they mean, and we're even going to dive into some of the more advanced stuff. For example, heavy machine gun nest, radio airstrikes, smoke artillery, flamethrower, ampulette launchers, and anti-tank gunners in your AT squads. My name is AdmiralStarks, and let's begin. Now, the first class and probably the most basic class in Enlisted, probably someone's gonna disagree with me, but it is the Rifleman class, and there are gonna be few upgrades that are gonna be exactly the same for each squad in the game. If you wonder how you get to this upgrade tab, you only want to select the squad, you want to check the upgrades, and you just go ahead and click upgrades. So you're gonna get to this screen, and the ones you want to kind of do probably first to basically speed up your progress are these experienced, I'm gonna say booster upgrades. So basically these give you 25% of squad experience basically increased. So the more of these you do on your squad, the quicker you're gonna gain these points up here to unlock the next level. As soon as you unlock the next level, you're gonna get the new upgrade point, which then you can use on one of these upgrades. You see these grayed out ones I haven't done, but these ones in full color I have done already. So now this one in the middle is slightly different. I'm sure you've noticed. It's called reserve increase, and basically what that means, it just means how many soldiers you can keep inside your reserve that are not currently active in any of the squads. They're just chilling in reserve, ready whenever they're necessary, or you can just eventually sell them. So that's what that means. All of these other upgrades are going to slightly differ from class to class. You can see assaulteers have slightly different choices, AT guys have slightly different choices, but all in all, basically, you're going to have few of the upgrades that are going to increase the size of the squad, which basically is if you go change soldier, you can see how many guys you have in the squad here. And if you increase the size of the squad, there's going to be an empty slot here that you can drag in your next soldier and just basically make your squad larger. In the same time, you're going to have these single choice upgrades, which again are going to be slightly different for each class. As you can see, for assaulteers and for your AT, they're going to be slightly different, but generally there's going to be a lot of similarities across all of the classes. Now, once you choose one of these, like a medic or a radioman or a engineer, the other two becomes unavailable. If you decide to spend point on one of these, the only way you can change your choice, you're going to need these green orders. These are called order for upgrade change. If you're a new player, you probably don't have many of them. I have a few of them left. So you can use one of these to then again change your mind and swap it to one of the other. What I can suggest you, highly suggest you, always try and have an engineer, at least one engineer in each of your squads, because engineers are extremely powerful. They can build rally beacons, and just engineers are very, very useful. Everything else I would leave totally up to your playstyle. I like to have at least one radioman in your squad, because as soon as you spawn your squad, you can just drop artillery, and it's basically a passive points and experience you gain. You just drop an artillery and completely forget about it. And then obviously if your playstyle, if you're going to be hunting tanks, you're going to be taking AT gunners, or if you like heavy machine guns, you're going to run around with machine gunners. Again, totally your own personal preference. And you're going to see that assaulteer squads are basically the same. You get slightly different layout of choices. You get the squad increase and you got the extra assaulteer to the squad. Now, some of the classes you're going to have both of these options, which basically one is the increase of the squad and one is the extra assaulteer. If we go to, let's find a better assaulteer example like this one. We got one here, one here, one here. So that's 3 extra assaulteers. When you just freshly unlock an assaulteer squad, you only have 1 of them. As you can see, this squad is very fresh. You only have 1 of them, and you can actually see 1 out of 1 and 3 out of 5. We go 1, 2, 3, and there's an empty space, and I can put in another one. 4 out of 5. I'm not sure if it's gonna let me. Oh wow, you can literally take your assaulter squad and make it rifleman. Okay, we're not gonna do that, but apparently you can. Now, if I want to have more assaulteers here in this squad, I need to go to the upgrades and I need to make sure I get this one, I get this one, and I get that one. That is gonna give me a chance of having 4 assaulteers here in the squad. Now, you might be wondering, if you select the squad size increase, what class of the soldier is gonna be added extra to your squad? Is gonna be a basic rifleman. If you use any of these squad size increase, you're just gonna get a basic rifleman into your squad, which then again, after you've selected, I don't know, an engineer or a radio or a sniper, you're gonna be able just to go out and swap out for your rifleman. Before we dive into tank and plane upgrades and some of the cooler heavy machine gun upgrades that you can see here, I'm gonna explain you the next tab that is up here, personal upgrades. What these basically mean, again, you're gonna have your experience boosts here. That is really lovely to have them. You really don't have choice of not getting them, because if you want to progress through this chart here, you're kind of forced to unlock them anyways. But you can see there's a 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. There's a sidearm here. This is the only one you can kind of skip past if you don't want to unlock it straight away. And then the last one is choice between the secondary weapon slot and a bag slot. So what are these starred upgrades? So these starred upgrades are basically each soldier's level. So you can see these guys up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. If I go to the upgrades on the correct squad, yeah, these guys are all the way up to the 5. I have played these guys. I have unlocked all of the 5 stars, and there it is. Now, other of these upgrades, the sidearm, for example, here, I haven't unlocked it, but if I would, it would just basically mean I can, you see, it says I haven't unlocked it. It will let me to have a pistol slot here. If I unlock it, I can have a pistol. And then the last but not least, in between the bag and the secondary weapon slot, I like to have bag or a backpack, if you want to call it that way, because this enables you this slot here, and there's a plethora of things you can choose. I have chosen the large ammo pouch because these Brownings eat through the ammo fairly quickly. It has a 100-round mag, and you can see I can have another 300 rounds in my bag when I go to the fight. If I remove this, I only have 100 in the gun and another 100 in my pocket. So that's why I really like to have large ammo pouches, at least for the weapons that fire really quickly and you know you're gonna go through your ammo fast. There are some other, there are small ammo pouches that give you only a bit more ammo, as you can see here, only 100 extra. Then we have some grenade pouch that is gonna unlock you 1 slot of the grenade, but if you choose a large grenade pouch, it's gonna unlock all 3 slots for grenades, so you can absolutely carry whatever nade you want into the battle. What does a basic backpack mean? So a backpack isn't gonna give you ammo, it's not gonna give you any grenades, but it is gonna unlock some of the inventory slots here, which you can put in medkits and I believe tools for fixing, heavy machine guns or tanks. If you have a small backpack, it's gonna give you 1 extra slot. If you have a large backpack, it is gonna unlock all of these slots, but you can see that the grenade slots are no longer available and you can't have more ammo for your guns. So you really need to find a sweet spot for every class in here. You will see some other, for example, grenades here. This guy has a large grenade pouch. You can see I'm carrying every single type of grenade for a tank, for an infantry, and Molotov is just universal for everything. That should be the personal upgrades more or less cleared up. And the last tab is your workshop upgrades. You can see some of the squads don't actually have workshop upgrades. Workshop upgrade basically means that this squad is responsible for enabling upgrades for specific weapons. Like these are the machine gunners, Johnson LMG and a Browning here. If I do all of these upgrades here, you can see I haven't done a single one. If I go to the weapon they are carrying, for example, this Browning, and I'm like, okay, this is a 3-star out of 6. I want to upgrade it. I'm going to go and click upgrade. It's going to say, sorry, you haven't researched any upgrades. You're going to click on the research and it's going to take you to this tab and it's going to want you to do these upgrades. Now, in the contrast for this squad, we just swapped over to this Assaulteer squad. Go to the upgrades, go to the workshop upgrades, and I have done the 4-star, 5-star, 6-star upgrades and the 2 discounts. You want to do the discounts before you do any weapon upgrades because these are going to make the upgrading much cheaper. Now, this weapon has all of the upgrades, and if I go to the weapon here, you can see it is 3 out of 6 stars, and if I click upgrade, which by the way, the button's enabled in blue, which means you can actually do it. You can upgrade your weapon either by using the silver or using the weapon upgrade orders. You can see up here how many you have. Again, if you're a new soldier, new player, then you probably don't have many of these, and this is where you can just go upgrade to next, upgrade to next, and upgrade to next, and you can see how pricey it is. Like, we've spent probably close to like 10k to upgrade this one weapon, and then imagine upgrading all of your weapons. But that's what the workshop upgrade basically means for each squad. You can see a lot of squads are responsible for different weapons. Yeah, this squad is responsible for a lot of weapons, and we've done a lot of them, which is really cool. And now we're gonna moving on to vehicle upgrades. Here's a basic tank. We're gonna go to the squad upgrades. For tankers, it's very simple. For tankers, you want to do the XP upgrades, and then you want to do the squad size increase, because when you get a tank fresh off a Tech 3, your first time playing it, it's not gonna come with 5-man crew. It's gonna come with basic 3-man crew. You're just gonna have your basics. You're gonna have like a commander, gunner, driver, for example, and then the commander is gonna double to load and yada yada, all that shenanigans, which basically, if you unlock extra soldiers in your tankers, actually some of the tanks can have faster reload rate once you have more crew in them. Now, that is for the squad increase. It should really be all very clear here. If you go to the personal upgrades, again, it's exactly the same as for every other soldier. It just basically means how high of a level you can upgrade your soldier. And again, if you're gonna have a sidearm or you're gonna have a backpack slot, as you can see, if you can see, I've chosen a backpack, and I believe we got a sidearm. This thing doesn't even have, I think tankers maybe just have by default the sidearm. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that, but we kind of know how this works. And the last one for the tankers, obviously, instead of upgrading weapons, you're going to be unlocking upgrades for your vehicles. Again, the same goes as for weapons, 4-star, 5-star, 6-star, and then make sure you do the discounts before you upgrade, because upgrading tanks, trust me, is really pricey. So you want to save as much as you can. Yeah, basically what this means is if you click on your tank, let's see which one I haven't upgraded. There we go, M4A276W. If you unlock all of the star upgrades for this particular vehicle, you just go upgrade, and as you can see, it's pretty pricey. So you have these vehicle upgrade orders. Again, I have very few of them. If you're going to be a new player, then no surprise you don't have them at all. But upgrading vehicles, that was 4.5k. Upgrading to the next star, 18k, and then upgrading to 6-star. Oh my god, it's 27,000. It's like 18, 4.5, 22, 50,000 silver down the drain, because I'll probably not gonna play that tank. I lost it instantly. Was it this guy? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's what it means. If you go to the upgrades and you finish off, imagine if I want to see if I have discount on this guy, or did I just absolutely wasted money? Where are you, dude? Where are you, dude? That was with a discount. Imagine this is with a discounted upgrade price. So without these, it would probably be close to like 100k or something. Talking about the plane upgrades, again, we're gonna start off with the first one. Super basic, super simple. There's nothing to not understand. Now the personal upgrades, same old. You can unlock the level of the soldier, which is 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, and the secondary weapon slot if you want to. And then the last one is the one that is responsible for the aircraft. In the same sort of manner, let's find a squad that is responsible for more aircraft. There we go. The squad P51C10, P51D5. You can see I've got all of these unlocked plus the discounts. And if we try to actually find some of them, there we go. I've fully upgraded this one and this. Yeah, these are fully upgraded. But basically, because I have unlocked the upgrades, then it gives me an opportunity to do the upgrades. And by the way, you can remove the upgrades for any reason if you want to, but I don't know why would you, because you don't get back as much as you spent. So I would not recommend you to do so. Now we're gonna dive into some more advanced stuff for some really special cool classes in the game. But to properly demonstrate you, I need you to see a basic squad. This squad here, assaulters, you can see a lot of different guys in here, and we have done the upgrade for the engineer. Now this is going to be your basic engineer in the squad, and if we spawn this guy into the practice, remember this is not an engineering squad. This is an assaulter squad that has an engineer in it, and I am going to show you what this engineer is capable of building once he's in, like, I don't know, in another squad. Remember, this is not an engineering squad. If you pull up your building tools here and you hit your right click on PC, at least you have all of the basic buildings like a rally, ammo box, the tank trap hedgehog, the barbed wire, and your sandbag wall. So these are the most basic things you can build as an engineer in a non-engineer squad, if that makes sense. Now in contrast, if we select a basic engineering squad, not a squad that has an engineer inside, but the squad that's actually an engineering squad, and we go to the practice, you're gonna see that these guys can actually build a lot more things than the guy that was in another class squad. For example, apart from all of the basic structures, we got the AA station, you can shoot down planes, and you have the anti-tank cannon that you can build if you want to shoot tanks. But there's more. If you carefully inspect your engineering squads, you're going to see that there are different classes of them. This is engineering 2, this is basic engineering. So what would be the difference between that? There are differences in upgrades. Let's check the basic engineering upgrades, and as you can see, to enable to build the anti-air station or anti-tank cannon, you actually need to do the upgrade. If you haven't done this upgrade, you won't see them on that pie chart when you're in the battle and you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna build this AA and I'm gonna shoot down a plane. If this is not unlocked, that option is not gonna be there. Now, what's the difference if we select, where is our beloved engineering class 2 squad? You can see here it says engineer 2. If you check the upgrades, there's going to be something else on the top. You can see I haven't done any upgrades, but the last one here is a machine gun nest, and this thing can sometimes prove to be very, very useful. If you play an engineering squad and you can't find this machine gun nest, then make sure you are looking at the engineering class 2 squad, because the engineering class 1 will not have this option to even find it or unlock it, and these things can be absolutely menacing. So you need an engineering squad 2 and unlock the upgrade, and you'll be able to build these things. Engineer capabilities does not stop in Enlisted with that. There are some other squads that if you have an engineer in them, they have a really cool skill to do. For example, this is the machine gunner. So these guys run around with freaking heavy, large machine guns. And if we go to the upgrade tab, there is this little upgrade here, which is called Heavy MG, which is kind of the machine gun nest that we just checked out. But because this engineer is in the LMG squad, the large machine guns, this thing is even heavier, beefier, and more powerful. Now, to be able to build these in your machine gunner squad, first of all, you need to make sure you have selected at least one of the engineers, because there is no point of this upgrade if you don't have an engineer in your squad to build it. Once you have your engineer unlocked, make sure you go ahead and do the heavy HMG. We're going to go straight into the practice, and I'm going to show you how this behemoth looks. And I'm saying it's kind of like the MG nest that I just showcased to you, but this thing is, yeah, you can see this thing is even beefier. Once you fire it, it just sounds like absolute insanity and just raining fire over your enemy's head. And you can see it takes a bit longer to build it because it's a higher value. Just look at that, just higher value weapon thing. And this thing, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this thing can shred some light tanks as well. You can see there's almost no recoil, and it's absolutely insane. You can even shoot down some planes if they fly very low. So if you use your machine gunner squads, make sure you get at least one engineer in them, and make sure you do the HMG upgrade. As crazy it will sound, but engineers can stretch even further in Enlisted game. For example, we're gonna going over to Flamethrower Squad, and you can see this Flamethrower Squad has an engineer in them. For Soviets, I believe some German squads can do it as well, but I'm not sure if Japanese or Americans have this. There is a very interesting upgrade like this, and it's called the Ampulette. Now, you can have it for your Flamethrower Squad if you're a Soviet, or for Germans, I believe some of them just have it. Yeah, this is an engineering squad, and they just have it. So now, what is the Ampulette thing? And this thing can be absolutely menacing. Once again, if you build it in a really, really good position, these things can be absolutely menacing to block the capture zones and control points and things like that. You select the Ampulette launcher. Again, it's something like MG Nest, and it's something like almost like not quite a heavy machine gun nest, but it's more like a machine gun nest. I'm gonna show you and demonstrate. You can see its powerful structure because it takes a lot of time to build. Now you just point wherever you want and you just bonk, and it shoots an ampulette, kind of Molotov ampulette, I guess, and explodes, and that area is on fire now. Now imagine you're blocking down a street. There's a little bit of a reload, and you can just keep bonking, and infantry will not be able to come through that street. They will not be able to come through that doorway because it's constantly on fire. So this thing is really cool. I highly suggest you can even build it far away from the capture zone, because you can see it sends these quite freaking far. So I really, really like these things. I don't like to verse them, but that's again another upgrade you can do for your engineer squads for Germans, or for your flamethrower squads for Soviets. As you all know, if you do full upgrades for your engineers, they are capable of building an anti-tank stationary gun, and you can shoot enemy tanks. But there is another class in the game that can build these AT cannons. And let's scroll down, and I want to find, I can see I don't really use them. I want to find an anti-tank squad. Voila, there's an anti-tanker squad that carries around bazookas. They carry around Panzerfaust, rocket launchers, also the things to take out enemy tanks. And these guys are able to build an anti-tank cannon as well. But to be able to build it, you need to unlock again one of these engineers. If you have this unlocked and you don't have an engineer in your squad, then there's no point. There's no one to build it. As you can see, for this squad, I have unlocked it, but I haven't unlocked any of the engineers. Dummy me, and yeah, I can't build it, so I need to change my actual decision so I can build these. These are, yeah, yet another squad that can build anti-tank cannons, just so you know. And last but definitely not least, we're moving on to Radioman upgrades. If we go to the upgrades, there are some really, really cool. Obviously, the majority of these are exactly the same throughout every single squad, as I have already mentioned, but there are few that we haven't seen today yet. So there's this one here, which is frequent artillery. This upgrade allows you to call artillery strike 2 times more often. So, you know, as soon as you drop RT, there's a cooldown time. And if you have this upgrade, it is half of the basic cooldown time. Now, the next one here is the smoke artillery that you can drop. It's just basically you pull down a line on a map and it's going to drop a wall of smoke. If you need to cross a street, if you need to push a point, so there's enemies, you can block their vision and use this. I'm going to show it all in the practice range. And then this one here is the airstrike call, which calls in a bomber raid on the battlefield, which like 5 bomber planes drop multitude of bombs, which sounds really, really cool, but there's ups and downs to that, which we're going to talk through right now. If we go to your radio, give me not an engineer, I'm so used to going to engineer, grab your radio guy. I'm going to hit 6 on the keyboard. Oh my god, they've done artillery cooldown even in the practice range. This is practice range, Dark Flow, practice range. Let me practice. There's no one else here. Why do I have cooldown for anything?
Artillery support.
There we go. There we go. The cooldown's over. When you hit the button for artillery,
fire at the
it's gonna open you the map. Now, this is your basic red circle of your basic artillery. It takes very little time to arrive. HE shells, and they are very dangerous infantry. If you are in the need for artillery cover, I would highly suggest you to use the basic artillery. Now, on the bottom here, you can see R for change shell type. If I click R on my keyboard, this thing now switches to the airstrike call. And these are the 5 circles, sorry, 5? Yeah, 5 circles that 5 bomber planes are going to fly. You choose where you want to drop them, but this is going to take a significant amount of time to arrive. So if you need it quickly, this is not going to be the best bet. On top of that, enemy fighters can shoot down your planes, shoot down the bomber planes, and at the end of the day, you can end up with no artillery whatsoever. At least the basic artillery can't be shot down. And if we go even further and change our shell type by hitting R on the keyboard, you're going to see there is no red dot on the map at all. It says smoke shells. And if I click, hold, and wait, do I need to drag? No, I don't need to hold. I click on one point, I click on the other point, and that's how we signify where the smoke should drop. And we're just gonna chill here, and eventually there should be a wall of smoke dropped. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go. That actually looks pretty cool. This is how the smoke artillery works. And now you can see we have the cooldown down here on the bottom, which is like 1 minute and 45 seconds. If you don't have the frequent artillery upgrade, this is going to be close to like 4 minutes or something. So that is very, very useful. There we go. I'm pretty sure you have seen how... Yeah, I can't show you now because there's a cooldown. Why is there a cooldown? I don't understand that, lads. This is a practice range. I'm pretty sure you've seen the basic artillery and you've seen the airstrike planes come in and drop bombs as well. And that is pretty much all I want to let you know about the upgrades. I know there's a lot. This might be a longer video, but there are a lot of them and there are a lot of different upgrades, and it is really good to know. And there's really, you know, good to know that some of these squads actually can build some cool stuff, even though they're not necessarily an engineering squad. So yeah, that is where I'm gonna leave you. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.